You're Hunter main. You've heard pro players say, change your build every game depending on the comp. But what does it actually mean? I will answer that in this video. Before we start, I'd just like to announce that I have a new community Discord server for anyone who's interested in my content. Link is in the description. Mischievous is a trait that makes your ballooning speed 20% faster. It is usually brought against harassers, for example, Winter, Ford, Badger, Antiquarian, Archer, Wildling. But if you're scared of, for example, a Cowboy or Enchantress, it's a decent option. Famine is a niche trait that makes survivors deco slower for the first 50 seconds, but only if no survivors are within 16 meters of you, which makes it unusable for hunters that want to chase immediately. So the only hunter I would recommend it on is Joseph because he has very strong synergy. Obsession is a trait that basically makes you faster when you end a chase. You get it for free if you bring Famine or Mischievous, and it sucks so you never bring it on its own. Wanted Order highlights a moving survivor in red for some time when you chair survivor. Location information is incredibly powerful since it gives you the potential to stuff rescue, and this is just a generically strong trait that doesn't depend on character selection. Whether or not you use it depends on your playstyle. Impact makes survivors heal slower after you hit them with basic or charged attack. This only applies to teammate healing, not self-healing. So Impact is a hunter-dependent trait, and it works best with hunters that enjoy slugging and changing targets, for example Clown, Percy, Hermit, but make sure you get a basic hit and not an ability hit to get the heal slowing. Announcement highlights every survivor for 5 seconds when the last cipher pops. You get it for free if you have Wanted Order of Impact. This is another generally strong trait to have regardless of character selection, and you can consider bringing it if you aren't sure where to spend points. It can carry some endgame positions. Addiction makes stuns shorter and also applies a recoil slowing effect if there are multiple survivors nearby. So this is an anti-harass tool that works against survivors who can stun, for example Enchantress, Archer, Prospector. Personally, I will only take Addiction if there's one of those three, and or if your hunter gets countered. Desperate Fight makes it so if you get stunned twice in a row, the third stun will be shorter. It comes for free with Addiction and basically just counters the exact same survivors. When the survivor is rescued, Nostalgic highlights them in red while hunters near a chair when the rescue happens. This is a hunter-dependent trait that allows fast hunters to get double downs without losing a survivor on a chair. For example, if you're playing Reptilian or Queen Bee, hit rescuer, they rescue, hit rescuer again, use the ability to go back to your original target to get double down. If you're a slower hunter, Nostalgic has strong synergy with Warp for the same reason. Status is a niche trait that makes survivors die faster on chair. The only hunter I can think of that most players run status on is Bonbon. It's an expensive trait with mediocre payoff. Giant Claw is another niche trait no one really uses. It makes survivors struggle slower in Balloon. It's a niche counter to balloon harassers like Cowboy or Gardener. It also makes it easier to chair in basement, but I would not recommend ever bringing this, especially it costs 20 points. Quenching Effect shows the location of all survivors 50 seconds into the game and comes for free of Sadist or Giant Claw. I would not recommend bringing this on its own ever, because if you haven't found anyone 50 seconds in, you're probably not winning anyways. Impulsive is a hunter-dependent trait that makes it faster when you charge attack. Examples of hunters that like Impulsive include Feaster, Wuchang, Reptilian, Disciple, Undead, and Cubist. No survivors is an absolute garbage trait. If you're being harassed, what's more attack recovery you can do? Why would you waste points on this when you can take Addiction instead? Overwhelm makes your attack recovery faster as you chair more survivors. You get it for free when bringing Impulsive or no survivors. It's a generically strong trait that works especially well with Photographer and Undead since they get chairs easily. Hunt is a niche trait that makes you move faster if you chase survivor without abilities or interacting with map. Most hunters rely on their abilities to do things, so Hellrumber, Mad Eyes, and Ivy are the only hunters that use Hunt. Street Sweeper is a very niche trait that shows you nearby healing survivors and slows their healing. The only few uses I can think of are maybe if you want to chase a doctor, or if you're playing undead, but the only consistent use for it on it is Photographer to spot down survivors. Exhibitionist makes your attack recovery faster if you miss an attack. You get it for free if you're doing Hunt or Street Sweeper. In my opinion, you just never take it on its own, but a lot of high tiers seem to like it, so use your own discretion. Claustrophobia makes the X-gate open slower if 3 or 4 survivors are alive when ciphers pop. This works well with map control hunters who sometimes struggle to get a kill before endgame, especially if it's a trump card or a built-in teleport. For example, Clerk, Nightmare, Hermit, Ivy. Vigilance is absolute garbage, never bring it. Control Freak is a trait you get for free with Vigilance or Claustrophobia. The only hunters that ever use it by itself are Helmber and Evil Reptilian. Rage reduces any stun effect by 7, 15, or 20%. It's one of the best traits in the game you can bring for any survivor with stun, for example, Enchantress, Painter, Coordinator. Berserker is another one of the best traits in the game. Enables double downs, enables stuffing, it's the best camping trait. It's also amazing for preventing rebounding and stacks of overwhelm. Hunters like Clerk and Joseph love it, and most other non-map control hunters sometimes bring it. Just always bring Panic every game, it's that good.